Have you ever wondered how the big fund managers and professional traders find their best trading setups? Well, if that's the case, you're going to love today's Equity Empire Chart Analysis session. My name is John McHugh. I'm a former Wall Street analyst, hedge fund manager, and independent trader for the better part of 20 years. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at a stock in the cybersecurity sector. And the reason I've decided to take a look for an opportunity in that particular sector is because the sector stocks in that sector are approaching all-time highs. So they're one of the strongest groups in the entire market. So what I did was I went to an exchange-traded fund that holds a big list of cybersecurity stocks, and then I gradually looked through them independently to take a look at the chart to see if there was a trading opportunity. And I ran across a company here called CyberArk, symbol CYBR. This is about a 4% holding in that particular exchange-traded fund. So it's a big position in that exchange-traded fund. So I decided to go take a look to see if there's a trading opportunity in CyberArk. So symbol CYBR will be the stock that we assess in today's session. And when we assess the chart, only going to be considering two things. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of crazy analysis and a whole lot of indicators. It's going to be two simple things. What is the direction of the trend, and are there support levels where the big money might be stacked up patiently waiting to buy? So step one, let's assess the trend. And the trend, the way we assess the trend is we'll simply look for the two most recent highs and two most recent lows. So from high to low, low to high, and then high to low, we'll notice as they move from left to right, the highs are moving higher. And as they also move from left to right, the lows are also moving higher. And that's the definition of an uptrend. So just Friday, the last trading session, CyberArk entered a new uptrend. And so when we're in an uptrend, we'll simply be looking for clues. In other words, support levels for either a quick bounce trade or maybe a discounted price for a longer term position. And there are a couple support levels to consider here. There's a support level right here in the 371.62 to 367.35 price range. There's another support level down here in the 355.32 to 347.08 price range. So two support levels to consider for either bounce trades or discounted prices for longer term positions. Now let's go take a look to see where there might CyberArk, if it does continue heading higher, where it might encounter some resistance. So we're going to look for a resistance level, and we don't see any clear signs of resistance until we get all the way up here. All the way up here, well, we can be conservative and call it that, but I think that if we do start heading higher, we could actually go back and test all-time highs, much like the broad industry is starting to do. So that would be resistance in the 409 to 420 price range. So how would we construct a trade now if those were the levels we were going to consider? The way you could construct a trade is simply place a buy limit order at the top of the first support level or the top of the bottom support level, either one. I'm going to go try to set one up here on the top support level. Protective stop goes just below that level and drag the target all the way up until the first sign of higher time frame resistance. Okay? If that's the case, this particular trade setup has a 7.44 reward to risk ratio. What that means is for every $100 worth of risk you would take in this particular trade, you could potentially have $744 of reward. And that's the way professionals set up their trades. They take a little bit of risk for the opportunity of much greater rewards. Okay? And once again, this is a 7.44 to 1. That's an ideal setup. If you wanted to be a little more patient or a little more conservative with your entry, you could do the same kind of setup in this bottom level here. But I'm going to go with this top level for this trade setup. And this is the way the trade would ideally play out. Well, a couple things could happen. CyberArk might just continue heading higher and work its all the way up to the 409 price range, retest those all-time highs without a pullback. If that's the case, we simply won't get filled on the trade, but we won't lose anything either. Okay? But ideally, most of the time, price doesn't just keep climbing higher without taking a breather or having a pullback. That's generally the way the market doesn't work in most stocks. Most of the times you'll get some kind of pullback. So ideally, CyberArk would do something like this. We would pull back to this support level that we identified in the 371 price range, bounce off of that before heading higher and testing those higher time frame resistance level in the 409 range. Okay, so that's today's trade setup, folks. Hope you enjoyed the session. I'll be back each day this week for more chart analysis. In the meantime, wish you the best in your trading and investing, and we'll see you soon.